I think there is an audio disconnect here. Okay, we should start from first. Hello all, wishing you all a pleasant morning and welcoming you all to the fourth leg of webinar series on how to automate customer service activities and be more productive. So before we get into the webinar session, I would like to start with another quote, or with the quote, make hay while the sun shines, which is nothing but grab all the opportunities that comes in your way so that you do not want to wait for the opportunity to make sure your requirements can be achieved. So in this case, Zoho Desk helps you in providing all these opportunities to make sure you have the complete set of knowledge on how to handle your customer tickets. So before we get into the session, I would like to introduce myself. This is Teetesh from Zoho Desk, here to explain you on how to automate the process and who is experienced in providing a number of demos for how to use Zoho Desk efficiently, and also expertise in providing critical solutions for the organization that requires to use the Zoho Desk efficiently. And I'll be accompanied by Ananthan, who is a senior product support engineer who will be taking care of the question answer sessions simultaneously during the webinar so that your queries can be addressed then and there. So let's get into the action on how the Zoho Desk helps you in the automation. So I would like to give a small gist on how the previous webinar has been handled. Those who are new to this webinar, so where in the first session we had about the complete overview of Zoho Desk, which is explained by Shivani on how you can use the features or what are all the features that is available in Zoho Desk that helps you in understanding or structuring your organization. And then we have the webinar of how to create tickets using various channels that was handled by me on how you can manage all these tickets created from various ways in a single user interface, along with the self-help platform where your customers can get their self-help before reaching the organization for the help. So then we had the third webinar series on security, on how the data has been secured in Zoho Desk, along with how the data is not exposed and it is being safeguarded, and the measures are being discussed in the previous webinar. So about Zoho Desk is nothing but it is an end-to-end complete customer service platform, and it is also one of the industry's first context-aware help desk software, which helps you in understanding the issues or queries shared by your customers through the context and helps you in understanding or resolving the queries. So let's jump into today's agenda and how to automate the process, or the process of automation helps you in managing the tickets. So first, why do you require automation? The answer would be simple. So in this case, all our organization and business have been grown to much higher standards than handling all to 20 to 10, 20 tickets per day instead of handling hundreds and hundreds of tickets, as because the growth of our customers, organization or the customers have been to be in more numbers. So how will this process help you in attaining a complete organization structure on how you can manage the agents, or what are all the small changes that would help you in the big way on managing the tickets or the agenda for the today's automation? So let's get into the first set. So now we are going to see about how the tickets can be handled in the automation, through which it requires less amount of manual intervention in the tickets so that it can be handled smoothly through the automation services. So in that case, we would like to split this into three different spectrums so that you can understand easily on how each case has been handled. So first, we are going to see about how the automation can help you in enhancing the agent efficiency and then simplifying the process, and then beyond manual monitoring on how the tickets can be handled. So let's get into the first section, enhancing agent efficiency. This is nothing but the assignment rules, what we are going to see the next. It's just nothing but once the ticket gets created directly in your Zoho Desk in any department. So first set is the admins need to assign the tickets based on the issues that is being raised by the customers, right? So this is the first step on whenever the ticket gets created, so that the customers who have raised the ticket does not want the tickets to be in hold for the response to be shared as well. So in this case, I would like to share a simple answer for you is to have an assignment rule which helps you in complete assignment of the tickets based on a specific criteria. So this can be handled in two ways, which is nothing but the direct assignment rule and also a round robin rule. Direct assignment rule, which helps you in assigning the tickets directly to the agents or the agents inside the team or to a specific team directly based on the criteria or on the execution point. So round robin has another added advantage is that you can add number of agents inside round robin assignment where the ticket gets assigned based on the workload. So let's have a quick demo on how this works. So as you can see, the automation section under the setup where you will be able to find the assignment rules. So in the assignment rules, you can create a new direct assignment rule where you can give a rule name that helps you on the execution point on which the rule needs to be triggered as well. So when I click on the add target option, I'll be able to select the departments in which the ticket is being coming and also able to have a particular criteria and assign this particular ticket to any of the agents. And one thing, an important thing to note here is it can be assigned to only one specific agent using this rule. So in this case, you can have multiple number of criterias and also assign a ticket to one particular agent. And also you can have multiple sections under one rule where you can add multiple targets to assign the tickets. Let's see how this works. So we'll create a ticket here. So let me mark this as an assign and let me submit the ticket. Oops, my bad. Just a moment. So here I have specified a particular criteria where the subject contains payment refund or refund payment as well. So in this case, the ticket doesn't match the criteria and the ticket is not being assigned. So we'll create another ticket and check how this process works. As you can see, the ticket has been assigned to Kirti Ravidas as we have mentioned in this particular section to assign the tickets, right? And also you can have this seen through ticket history on what are all the tickets that has been, what are the rules that has been triggered on the particular ticket. And this is how the direct assignment works. So when we have a look on round robin system, so it is nothing but assigning a ticket based on the load. So as the same, so once a ticket has been created with a particular criteria where you will be able to criteria under the round robin section. So once the criteria gets matched, you can add multiple agents as such in the particular departments. So once the ticket is matched with this particular criteria, it gets assigned through round robin based on the load management, which is nothing but the number of open or on hold tickets that is present based on the agent bin, the ticket get assigned so that it has an equal assignment for all the agents inside the department. So another important thing to be noted in inside the round robin rule is here you can set the options of whether you wanted to assign based on the offline or online agents. As you all know, direct assignment doesn't have any features as such where it gets assigned to the agent once the ticket is being met with the criteria. But in the round robin, you have an added advantage of whether you can choose whether the agent is online or not. And also you can set the threshold and also the backlog limit. The threshold is nothing but the limit for the agent's bin to be filled with the tickets that is to be assigned through round robin, and also the number of tickets getting assigned directly to the agents based on the queue that has been present for the tickets that has been incoming. So this is how the round robin works. So another important aspect in the assignment rule is nothing but having the skill based. I think most of you would have not used this particular feature where I would like to give a small gist on how this works. So in the skill based, which is nothing but it is also a round robin assignment where you can associate skills to the agent. For an example, this the most common criteria, which is nothing but the language, the country, the nativity, or any other custom field that you wanted to fill, it can be handled as a skill to the agent. So once the skill gets met to the agent or in the ticket, it gets directly assigned to the particular agent that we have assigned. So once the skill language has been met in the criteria, it gets directly assigned to this particular agent, Sajana, so that the ticket is being handled based on the skill based. So this is how the assignment rule works. So before we get into the next automation, I would like to ask you a small poll on what are all the methods or how you would handle the tickets that are coming inside your Zoho desk, either through manual or automation. So the poll will be on your screen. Please take a moment to answer the screen on how you would handle the tickets that are coming through. Few more seconds so that all 32 can answer. Great to see number of have voted for automated assignment automations to handle your tickets. Great to see. And I could see a few number have voted for manual management as well. So we'll get to know how they can be helped through automation as well. So let's go to the next section on how it can be handled or how the tickets can be managed after the ticket is being assigned to the agents. So then we have the process of workflows and how you can simplify the process. So in this section, we would like to see about, or we will get to know more about on how the ticket will be managed with an automation process based on the execution point. So it will be easy for you if I could show you directly where you could find the workflows under the same automation section. So where you will be able to create a rule. So for an example, this is how the new workflow rule screen can be seen. So where I have the rule name first, and I click on the next, so I'll be able to see the number of execution point. So the major aspect of workflows to see or to use is based on the execution point, you can trigger this particular action that you have configured. So for an example, if you wanted to have an update based on the ticket creation, or if you wanted to update another field or send an alert based on the field update that you have made in the ticket, or if you wanted to have an update based on the customer reply, or through the agent responses. You will have all these sections where you can have the execution point so that the action that you have configured will get triggered directly. So for an example, I've chosen on ticket create, and I'll show you next where you will be able to fill up with a criteria. For an example, if I don't have any criteria and I have to execute this for all tickets, once it has been created, I can skip it and go to the actions directly. So in the actions part, you will be able to find the options of sending an alert, scheduling a task, and also making a field update. And also you have the options of custom function, which is available in the enterprise edition, where you can have the custom code directly updated inside the tickets using the workflow. So this is the section of how you have to create an alert, a field update, and also have number of options where you can have this actions triggered for the execution point once the ticket is being met with the criteria or the execution point. So in this case, I had a question in the previous webinar on how to send an automatic reply instead of the agent sending the replies every time for the frequently asked questions. So in Zoho Desk, in the workflow section, you will have that particular options as well. So where based on the particular criteria, for an example, subject contains refund. If the ticket has been raised, you can schedule a reply as well. So once a ticket has been created with a particular subject, the automated reply goes directly. So this is how the automation of managing tickets using workflows can be easily achieved so that the ticket does not have the manual intervention on updating the fields or sending a follow-up email or sending even the alert that the ticket has been raised, so that it helps them in the presence of the tickets where the automation can be easily applied. So this is how it works. Let's have a quick demo on how the workflow gets treated as well. So for an example, I've already created a particular workflow where, for an example, on updating the field update, the alert needs to be sent. So let's see how this works. So this is the ticket that we have created. So I'll revoke the blueprint, which we will see later in this automation series. So now, as you can see, the ticket is revoked with blueprint. Now I'll be able to change the ticket status. So now I've changed the ticket status to transaction complete. So for an example, the action that we have configured for the particular workflow is to send an alert, right? So let's see how this works. My bad. Give me a moment. Just a moment. So this is how it works, where you get an automated email on how that transaction is being closed based on the status once that criteria has been met. So let's get into the other section of workflows, or how the section of automation that we're going to discuss further. So next comes the process of macros. So macros is an underestimated automation that most of you would have not known, where you can use the automation as an button kind of feature where you can use it for bulk updation. So in this case, macros is same as the workflows where you can define the action. So once the action gets defined on the particular ticket, you can multi-select number of tickets so that you can perform the same action. Instead of having it on single tickets, you can have it on the bulk of tickets assigned. So let's see how this works. So now let's see the number of ticket that is being created here. So you will be able to see where I could select number of tickets. So once I have selected the ticket, I'll be able to click on more and I could find the macros that we have selected. And now if I click on this particular macro, so all the ticket gets updated to the macro that we have defined in the action. So let's see how this is being shown. So for the macro that we have configured is the field update. Oh, I'm sorry, it is an alert. So let's see how this works. As you can see, the new macro has been applied on the ticket, where we have bulk updated the macros so that the alert has been sent. So as you can see, I would have received another alert based on the actions that we have configured. So this is how you can have the actions of automation and bulk of the tickets so that you need not update it individually. So we'll see about the next automation. So after the process of macros, so let's have a thought about once the ticket gets resolved. So what are the steps that requires the automation so that you can have a follow-up where you can get an additional response from the customer based on the emails that you can send. So which is nothing but can be easily handled by the supervised rule. Supervised rule is nothing but it is a time-based automation where you can specifically set the hours for which the ticket requires the response, or if you require any actions after the ticket has been responded or it has been waiting for response from the customer, where you can have a specific set of actions that can be easily triggered based on the time. So the basic difference between the supervised and the workflow is the execution point on workflows is direct, and once it made the execution point, it gets directly gets the actions to be triggered. But in the options of supervised rule, you will be able to perform only based on the hours. For an example, it needs minimum of 1 hour for the rule to be assigned, where we cannot show a quick demo on how this works like we have seen through the previous automations. So this helps in the situation where once the customer raises an issue or a query and it has been resolved, just think about giving a follow email for about 2 or 3 days later on requiring to know about how the service was or how the product is working now, to make sure you create an extra mileage from your customers to make sure you care for their product or the service that you have been provided for the service they have been used offered by you. So just think about the trust that gets built on once the customer gets to know that you're being a follow up or asking for a feedback on the customer service that you have given, and also about the product feedback or a product survey, so that they get a complete set of trust on you on resolving their queries. So this helps you in achieving this particular actions, and also can achieve a number of various actions based on the time based, so that you can have a follow up that can be easily automated. So once we have seen the process of having the option of ticket management through automation, let's see how this can be filtered through the agent automated methods, so that your agents can be streamlined, also give an organizational structure for your agents so that they do not violate any of the process that is being configured by the admin level. So this comes with the help of two other specific options, which is nothing but the SLAs and the blueprint automation. So let's take about a moment to look on the SLAs that we have offered in the automation section. So SLA is nothing but service level agreement automation, which is being promised to our customers, where we could respond the tickets or resolve the tickets from a particular time from the time it has been created, or based on the particular execution point, so that we promise a particular timeline or ETA for the tickets to be resolved. So in this case, you will be having the option of setting a response or resolution time that helps you easily maintaining a standard level of service to your customers or the products that you're going to offer. So in this case, I would like to show you on how this SLA works as well. So as you can see under the automation, you will be able to find out escalate SLA under the settings, where you will be able to create a new SLA. So once on creating a new SLA, you will be able to give a name where you can have the same number of execution point that you have seen through the workflows. In this case, you can choose multiple options or any other specific options in which the SLA needs to be triggered. So if I choose on ticket create and give on the next, I'll be able to find an option to add targets. So when I click on add targets, I'll be able to set any specific criteria required, and also I'll be able to set the response time and resolution time in which the SLA has to be triggered for the ticket. So the basic of SLA to is to provide a standard resolution time once a ticket has been resolved, once it has been created, or once it has been updated based on the execution point on one particular execution. So in this case, the resolving time is the mandatory in SLA, where you can specify it even though you skip on the response time. The other important aspect of SLA is to provide the escalation. For an example, the only automation in Zoho Desk where you could escalate the tickets directly using this particular automation, which executes on time or before time or the after time, where you can specify that as well. So we have 4 levels of resolution escalation where where you can escalate to the admins or the super admins who is in the management level to make sure this ticket requires an immediate assistance. And also you have the additional process of updating the ticket's priority, and also able to change the ticket owner once the SLA is being violated. So you can also have the option of setting a template, so which has to be sent to the admins once the ticket has been violated based on the SLA time that we have configured. The same case, you can have 4 levels of escalations as well, so that the agents will have a clear view that once a ticket has been escalated, they have to face the consequences. So which is not a method to treat the agent directly or making them work completely. It is to make sure this ticket requires this priority and needs to be handled in such a case where you have a specific time to resolve this case. So this helps your agent also to manage their time and also help them in resolving the tickets on the time that is being provided. So this is how the SLA can be created. Let's see how this SLA works on the ticket that is being created. So let's create another ticket to see how the SLA gets added. Okay, now I assign the ticket. I have created a ticket. As you can see, the due date and the response due date get automatically updated. So as you can see, for this particular SLA, we have configured response time as 3 minutes and resolution time as 5 minutes. And also, the other added additional advantage of using SLA is to have an operational business hours inbuilt as well, which is nothing but you can define your company's time duration as in the day or in the night, or you can have a split option of working in day and night, so that once this operation hours has been configured inside the SLA, the SLA calculates the time only based on the business hours that is being configured. So outside the business hours, the SLA gets passed and it gets again restarted only on the next day on the same operational hour starts. So this is an added advantage of SLA to handle the tickets on priority or on basis on the service level agreement that we have confirmed with our customers. So as you can see, the due date get automatically filled and the response dues get automatically filled, which is nothing but the response time and also the resolution time. So this helps the agent to directly have the time to be known to resolve the tickets and all respond to the tickets and also to resolve the tickets as well. So let's see the next option of how the how you can streamline the agents so that they do not violate the process of ticket management in Zoho Desk through automation, so which can be easily handled through the blueprint automation. Blueprint automation is nothing but it is a status-based transition operation that helps you or your agents to form a streamlined process where they cannot violate each step on resolving the tickets. This is also a process where you can define a particular steps or particular transition in which the ticket needs to be resolved. So this also helps you and the agents to be uniformly resolve the tickets, and also you will be in a position to know about in which state the ticket is exactly in, so that you can directly ask the agent to agent on why the ticket is being maintained on this particular state. And also you have an additional advantage where we have seen the SLAs that can be configured in each state in the blueprint, so that they have a complete set of transitions as well to be combined with SLA, so that they cannot violate the process. And let's see how this gets appended on the tickets. As you can see, under the automation, you will be able to find blueprint. So in this blueprint, you can create a blueprint where you can create a blueprint name, and you can also have the option whether to have it on specific records or to all the records to which the blueprint needs to be updated. So you have the advanced operations or configurations such as strict mode, in which the agent will not be able to update any of the ticket properties in the left hand side, so that they have to process only on replying to the tickets, and they can only move through the transitions. So let's see how this works. So this is one of the drag and drop process, where you can open or select the status and drag it to the platform, so that once the ticket gets moved to transaction lost, you can set a transition that can be easily done. So I'll choose as T1 as my transition name, and I'll choose whether it needs to get the actions applied only before the blueprint, or during the blueprint, or after the blueprint. So here I can have it on the during the blueprint, where I could add operations where I would be able to fill the field. So once I've chosen this option, once I complete it, so once the ticket needs to be moved from open to transition lost, only after filling the VIN number, they'll be able to move to the transition lost. And if the field is not filled, once they're clicking on the transition or T1 transition, they'll be able to see the field popping up, so that they have to fill the particular field to move to the next transition. So let's see how this works directly on the ticket. So I've revoked a blueprint. So let me change the status. So now I bring back to the open status, where we have configured a particular blueprint which I have configured for this session. Where it is a simple process, where from the ticket from open status to transaction complete has to be done through T1 transition. So once from transition complete to close, it has to be done through T2 transition. So let's see how the T1 transition works. So now I cannot close the ticket directly as an agent or an admin or the record owner. So now I have to process through the T1 transition. Since I'm able to edit these fields, because since it is not a strict blueprint, so once if it is a strict blueprint, we'll be able to add the restrictions for the ticket properties also to be restricted. So once I click on the T1 transition, as you can see, the VIN number is not filled. I'll show you that as well. You can see the field is empty. So since the field is empty, and due to human error, it cannot be arguably told that we fill it all the time, or we do not have any restrictions for the ticket properties to be filled. So once we consider some important fields need to be filled, and when we can set this operations of blueprint to be configured on the ticket, it doesn't get missed on any way. As once these get filled, only then you'll be able to move to the next transition. So now I can fill my number. So once I've completed the transition, so I'll be able to see the next transition T2. So as you can see, the ticket has been changed to transaction complete. And now I have to change the ticket from transaction complete to the other section, which is nothing but to the close status. And that is also to be done through automation. So once I click on T2, I'll be only after filling the resolution field, I'll be able to close a ticket. As you can see in the T2 transition, we have configured the operation of filling the resolution tab. So as you all know that the resolution tab that is present here is not filled. So based on performing this particular transition, we'll be able to make the transition to make sure it attains a smooth closing process. As you can see, the ticket has been closed. And also in the resolution, you will be able to find the comment that we have made. And also you can check on the logs, where you will be able to find the logs of each transition that has been performed and who has performed it as well, so that you'll have a complete idea on how the ticket has been resolved. So as you all know, I have told you about uh, the SLAs also can be combined. So once you click on this particular status type, you will be able to create the state level SLA, where you can set up a complete configuration of time for this SLA to be present in this particular status alone, so that once this gets violated or once it gets open for more than 1 hour, you can add escalation level, as we have seen in the previous section. So this helps the agents to perform even the process automation or a streamlined process that is being configured from your organization structure needs to be attained in time basis. So the agents here are mostly concentrated based on the time we take for the tickets to handle, and also the time they take to resolve the tickets through all the process, where we could be uh, in help, which has been very helpful in promising the timeline to make sure the tickets goes addressed in smooth process. And also your admins can also have a record on how many tickets have been violated or how many tickets can are not responded in the due time, so that they can have a specific action on the agents, or to make sure the ticket gets assigned to or reassigned to any other agents to make sure it is handled in the priority. So, to summarize all these particular webinar we have seen, the automation takes place only if the manual management is so tedious, and it helps you in performing a smooth transition to all the ticket that have been handled in bulk, so that you have a complete set of handling in smooth process. So first, we have seen about once a ticket gets created, it gets assigned to each agent based on the criteria or based on the specifications in which the agents are well versed. And also, once it has been created, we create another automation where you will be able to have a complete section of how we can manage these kind of automations in the tickets, so that you need not miss out any other follow-ups or field updates based on the criteria. And next, we have known about manual following up once the ticket has been resolved, so that you make sure you maintain a good relationship between your customers and the agents, to make sure uh, you give an extra mileage to make sure you care about the service or the product that you have been offered. And next, apart from the ticket management, we have also known to about how to manage the agents automatically, so that you get an organizational structure to make sure you promise your customers with a timeline with the help of SLA, where it needs to be responded or resolved on a particular time frame. And then we get to know about the process orchestration, where you set up a complete organizational flow in which the agents cannot violate any of the process in setting out or making sure they resolve the tickets on the organizational flow that is being configured. So before I end up this session, I would like to end with another quote: a goal without a plan is still a dream. So all the prospects, customers, and the existing users, and also the future users of Zoho Desk, and their ultimate goal would be to provide a complete customer service. So on providing the complete customer service, they would require all the features of the customer service tool to be easily available and easily configurable way in which they can handle their customer service so smooth. So this can be easily achieved through automation process, which is an exclusive feature in Zoho Desk, so that this dream can be easily achieved with a plan Zoho Desk, so that you provide a complete customer solution. So I would like to end this and take all the questions over the air. Thank you for hearing me for the last 40 minutes. We'll move on to the Q&A session. Thank you. And also you will receive the links for the future webinars in the chat so that you can register and get to know more about Zoho Desk in detail. I can see how is integration with Magento. Thank you, Ankur. So integration, I think we have handled in the previous session. So I hope if you have missed it, you can have a link of it to refer it. So integration, if it is a direct integration present in Zoho Desk, you will be able to have a native integration. But if we do not have a native integration, it is still achieved through extensions, where we can share you the extension guide along with the AP documentation, where you can build a bridge between Zoho Desk and Magento to make sure the data gets transferred in both the applications. Thank you, Bharat. Uh, Need to learn about the custom function in Zoho Desk. Yes. So you can learn. It is available under the gallery functions as well. And also, you will be provided a good set of help documents and also the necessary prerequisites on how to create the custom functions as well. Any information can be provided on report or status evaluation. Yes. So we have the analytics part in Zoho Desk as well, which will be handled in the future webinars, where you can get the data of all the ticket based on status or on a particular criteria. So you can have it as a report and also as a dashboard. And we have the a default report of ticket by status already present under the static reports, where you can have a look. Sure, Ankur. I'll keep you posted on this. My precious Saraswati. Yes, we do have the native integration with Zoho Books, Bharat. And you can create invoice from the tickets. And we need to check on the feasibility on the documents. How will system give a trigger when the timeline ends on us? I think you're referring about SLA, right? So as we have seen the escalation part under the response escalation, resolution escalation. So once the ticket has been violated, so you will be able to see in the ticket history that the ticket has been violated, and the alert will be sent to the admins. Glad, Saraswati. Okay, I would like to share another poll. So, which of the automation you found it more interesting on around 5 to 6 automation that we have discussed in this webinar for the last 40 minutes? A poll will be in front of you. So, please let us know which one you find it out more useful, or which will suit your organizational structure or a working method to make sure you get an easy process comparing to the manual management. As in the previous poll, we could see a neck to neck where automation just came just through 2 or 3 votes. But I could see most of you are still handling the tickets using manual management. So please let me know which attracted you the more, or which you would find it more useful to be used in the future. Great to see. Assignment rule has more number of votes. Thirty more seconds. Can see all of you have voted for this. Good numbers for SLAs as well. Okay, round robin is unable to assign reopen tickets. Currently, these tickets are being assigned by a backlog scheduler that is by default capable of assigning only after 1 hour. Is this any way to assign a reopen ticket immediately like fresh tickets? So please note down that I think I have forgot this information. Once the ticket is being assigned through any, whether it is a workflow, whether it is an direct assignment rule, the round robin will not replace the ticket assignment. So the ticket to be assigned through round robin, the basic criteria would be that the ticket needs to be in the unassigned state. So if it is already assigned, it will not get reassigned to the agent. And backlog scheduler is based on the number of tickets that is being assigned in a bulk to an agent. That is based on the ticket that is being created. For an example, if you keep your backlog scheduler as five tickets will be assigned to agent A, then 5 tickets will be assigned to agent B, then 5 tickets will be assigned to agent C. So this will also be considered based on their workload. Workload is in the meaning of how many open or on hold tickets that they have in their queue currently. So this is how it works. And the basic build of round robin assignment is to make sure we have an even workload for all the agents. I just missed some the above. Yeah, I think you will be shared the link of this video or the webinar to your email, Ankur. Macros for bulk updation. Yes, you're right. You can multi-select the tickets and you can perform the macros action. Assignment rules plus SLA. Okay. So assignment rule, as we have discussed about, to assign the tickets directly based on the criteria. Excuse me. And also SLA is to provide a timeline for the agents to make sure you complete the option to complete the tickets in a given particular time that we have promised. Also, you will have support contract section, so which is an additional automation where you maintain the SLA for one particular account, where you have a contract like structure where you can charge them even for maintaining the particular contract as well in Zoho Desk. So in that case, you will have the particular option to have only the response and resolution time to make sure the tickets are handled so smoothly by the agents. Which automation is more customizable? I guess this can be asked as a poll question. Okay, which automation is more customizable? We can customize all kinds of automation, but I find workflow to be in the first place, which is more customizable. In this example, a call center working on the different shifts collectively works on all tickets. So once the ticket is created, it is assigned to any available agent who actions and closes it, forcing the ticket to get unassigned. When the client replies again, the ticket reopens but remains unassigned, and agent is unable to action as round robin is not working unless manually assigned or backlog scheduler kicks in. Okay, the scheduler works in this case, Ashmi. I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. In this case, the scheduler works only on hour basis. So this is a predefined structure, same like supervise, which has to be triggered based on an hour. The same case for backlog scheduler as well. Okay, if you require if you have this requirement as a priority, so please let us know through an email with a complete use case so that we can check on it can be achieved through any possible customer functions or any other methods to assign the tickets which has been reopened. I will definitely check on this, Ashmi. Sure, we'll consider this in the future, Bharat. We haven't planned in this set of series, but we'll make sure we plan it in the coming series. I think we have reached the end of the session or the webinar. So the final poll will be on your screen on whether you have enjoyed the depth of the session. So please share your feedbacks so that we can improve ourselves in the upcoming webinars. And we'll take all the requirements as a feedback so that we can optimize it in the upcoming webinars as well. So with that poll, we'll end the webinar. think we can. Thanks for all your answers over the poll. So grateful for it. So we can end the session. So see you all in the next webinar sessions. So please stay tuned for further updates from Zoho Desk. And we expect the same energy in all the upcoming webinars as well. Thank you. Thanks for your time, all people. Have a great week ahead. Bye for now.